Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It is Friday. We finally made it all the way through a work week this week. You've got a day off coming up on Monday. We'll talk about that as well. It's finally Friday. It's also hashtag Film Friday around here as well. We got some special guests joining us in just a moment. My co-host joining me live from the HCCTV studios, Parrish Murphy. Parrish, good to see you.
Hey, man. How you doing?
It's good. It's good. You know, it's a Friday. It seems like this was the longest week ever. I don't know about you.
It seemed a little long. It seemed definitely hot. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's a hot one out there, folks. So make sure you stay cool. You can stay indoors today, watch our show, and we'll keep you up to date with all your HCC news and information. So, Parrish, we want to thank everybody watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube, but they can also catch us anytime in social media and on HCCTV.
Absolutely. We are live on Houston Community College District Facebook page. We're also live on YouTube, and we're also on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and we're on HCC TV noon, 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Okay, Parrish, stick around because you're going to be interviewing this next guest. Chris Pinon is the owner of Chris Pinon Media Studios. Chris, good to see you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hearing all about what you've got going on, something involving Day of the Dead. So Dia de los Muertos. Stick around. We'll be with you in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're going to kick things off, take you out to Missouri City, HCC's new Director of Outreach and Recruitment and former Associate Dean of Student Engagement and Success. Afrah Hassan is on the show again. Good to see you with us, Afrah.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks for having me on the show again.
You guys have some incredible things going on out there in Missouri City, and we're going to talk about a parade real soon. But first off, we want to congratulate you on your new position. Maybe you could tell us all about it.
Yes. Thank you, by the way. This is day 2 as the Interim Director of Outreach and Recruitment for the district office. So I'll be working very closely with our new admissions advisors and planning outreach opportunities going to be out in the community as well. So I'm really looking forward to it. Big shoes to fill, but I'm very excited.
Well, congratulations to you. Know you do a great job out there. Now, on to some things you got going on in Missouri City. You've got a big event coming up this weekend, and it's an annual event commemorating Juneteenth.
Absolutely. So HCC Southwest College has always been a big partner and a big sponsor for the city of Missouri City's Juneteenth celebrations. They are celebrating their 20th year. So all week there have been different events going on in the city of Missouri City. Last night we had the gala. They have a kickoff reception. We have a concert happening on Saturday. And then, of course, the big 1 mile parade that will be occurring tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Yeah, I think we've got a camera crew that's going to be out there covering.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a lot of fun. There's always a lot of people. We're able to kind of give away some of our giveaways and swag. So we always have a big turnout for that event.
And you also get a lot of assistance from HCC trustees and our administration out there. Maybe you can tell us some of the roles they'll be playing.
Oh, yeah. So Dr. Madeline Barillo Hopkins, who's the vice chancellor and the president of Southwest College, loves the Juneteenth parade. She always attends, as well as our trustee in that service area, Trustee Linton Gary will be there. We'll have our vice chancellor of student services, Dr. Shantae Gray. She'll be there as well as one of our associate vice chancellors, Dr. Fortune, and just a host of different faculty and staff will be there to be able to support us.
And do you get a lot of student volunteers assisting with that as well?
Yes, definitely. And especially this year, we have our NSLS students who will be volunteering with us. It's always good for the community to see the students that we serve and are helping out. We pass out literature about the different programs and areas of studies at the Missouri City campus. So it's always a good way to be able to connect our students. We connect the community with what we offer at the Missouri City campus. We play a lot of music, give a lot of candy and giveaways. It's just always a ball being there.
And there are categories that's the floats are going to be judged, right?
Absolutely. So HCC has won Best Float the last 4 years. I'm not sure about this year because we won't necessarily have the float. We'll have a horse and carriage, but we'll have convertible cars and trucks. We try to give our best. We always try to be number one. So we have a lot of competition this year with the Mayor Ellicott for the city of Missouri City, and as well as HEB and other partners. So it's always fun competition, but we try to be number one as well.
And there are walking groups that are going to be participating in the parade as well?
Absolutely. So there are walking groups, there are bands, there are dance competition groups that'll be walking as well. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of just big sponsors like HEB, Wells Fargo. It's always just a slew of different people that attend the event, as well as some of the dignitaries in the city of Missouri City also.
You mentioned this has been going on for 20 years in Missouri City. Obviously, It's grown. I know when I was out at the Southwest College, this was a big deal back then, and that was about 10 years ago. Maybe you can tell us how it has grown over the years. You got HEB as a sponsor, and it sounds like you're going to have a lot of folks out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It has just grown. It has tripled in size. Last night at the gala, Roland Martin came and he was the keynote speaker. He did an awesome speech to kind of talk about the history of Juneteenth and really moving forward as a community. We're able to pull out big people like Roland Martin, who's originally from Houston. We get a lot of sponsorship. Last night, we gave out a lot of scholarships to students that were either graduating, going to college, or those currently in school. So a lot of good opportunities, not just for the community, but for the students that we serve as well.
And once again, all the details, what time does it start tomorrow night? Do people need to park in a certain area? Where would be the best place to view it?
Absolutely. So if you would like to attend, it's open and free to the community. It should be there between 5:30 and 6 p.m. before they shut off the roads, and meet at the Wells Fargo off of Texas Parkway, or formerly 2234 and Court Road. You'll be able to see all of us kind of set up in that area. We'd love for you guys to come out and walk with us and support us and give some giveaways out as well.
There is a website available. It's mcjcf.com. We'll have that link in our social media post. Afrah, always good to see you on the show. Congratulations on another successful year out there at Missouri City, and have a great event tomorrow night.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it.
All right, Afrah Hassan, HCC's new Interim Director of Outreach and Recruitment and former Associate Dean out there at the Southwest College. Big event tomorrow. We'll have some information in our social media post on how you can participate with your family. Okay, it is Film Friday as well today. We've got a special guest. Parrish, you're going to be interviewing Chris Pinon, so go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. We have the owner of the Chris Pinon Media Studios here in Houston. And first off, Chris, welcome to the show. I've seen some of your work, and I want to get into that as soon as we can. And it's absolutely beautiful. Thank you for being on the show, Chris.
Well, thank you. Thank you for those kind words.
Man, it's kind of weird because you got your start at Access Houston, which is now Houston Media Source, but you spend a lot of your spare time on specialty things. One is bringing the Dia de los Muertos to life through your photography. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I have participated in several Dia de los Muertos events that take place here in Houston. And last year, I decided to do my own interpretation, some of which you can see behind me. Mm-hmm. So I hired some professional actors and a professional face painter, which is slightly different from a makeup person. I didn't know that at the time. She explained it to me. And the girl I hired, she was formerly from Astroworld. And that's where she got her background, face painting, as you can see the picture over my left shoulder. And part of the theme, like I said, was Day of the Dead, but I learned a lot of things while taking these pictures. First of all, the photos that I did were of a character in very popular Day of the Dead known as La Catrina. So I did a little research, and La Catrina is the woman with the skeletal face. And I did a little research on that and found that that was actually a political cartoon done during the revolution by lithographer Jose Guadalupe Posada. And that throughout the years got mixed in with Day of the Dead. So essentially, it's not really part of Day of the Dead, but it is now. And it was a political satire cartoon, basically saying, how the people of limited means would like to dress like the Europeans in hats and flowing, I guess, dresses. And they were known as Catrins, hence La Catrina. And his satire with the skeleton face was, well, in the end, we all end up the same. When we pass, we're the same. We're equals. And I didn't know that when I started this. So it was not only a journey of creativity, it was also a journey of knowledge. And so after we took the pictures, I hired 3 actors. We took 3 sets of photos and had a reception in October to celebrate Day of the Dead where these photos were displayed.
And they are absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything that is absolutely terrifying and beautiful all in the same picture.
Well, thank you for that. And you see a lot of Day of the Dead motifs. People sometimes often confuse Day of the Dead with Halloween. They are not the same, but the myth behind it and the belief system behind those 2 days are somewhat similar. They go back centuries and centuries. So they are the same as much as they are different. And so I wanted to do something that looked, I hate to use the word professional, but looked like we spent some time on it. When I started it, people suggested that I use family members. And I said, no, I want professional actors. And so I actually hired professional actors and a professional face painter who that's what she does for a living. Because I wanted this to look like you see. It looks like these were, we spent some time. We did the lighting. We shot behind the scenes video. And I'm in the process of putting together that video to premiere when the next Day of the Dead event comes up that I'm having in November. So yeah, we spent some time and we wanted it to look really good. We wanted it to look different than somebody just dressed up in a costume.
Mission accomplished, Chris. Mission accomplished. And the thing about it is it's unique too, because I've seen a lot of Day of the Dead stuff, just having a media job. And that's some of the most unique stuff that I've seen. So by all means, Chris, mission accomplished. I want to talk about your Sawyer Yard studio and the opening of that. How did all of this lead to you getting into your specialty?
It's called a leap of faith that you hear about so many times. And I had a cousin that has a studio over at the Silos, part of the Sawyer Yards campus. And one day I just decided that it's never too late. You hear that all the time. It's never too late. Just do it. But a lot of times we hold back. And
the fear. I said, it's terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, let's just do it. And I have enough saved where I can be in the red for 10 years. And after 10 years, well then, and so I opened the studio where we did the La Catrina Day of the Dead photos. And most of the photos that you'll probably see that I sent. And a lot of it is experimentation. Like the picture over my left shoulder was taken after I saw that background over by the studio. I said, I need to get somebody in front of those locker panels, which is essentially what they are, and they were made into a fence. And so my studio is kind of the headquarters for all that creativity. We're centrally located within the Sawyer Yards campus, which consists of the Silo, Sabine Street, Winter Street, and Silver Street studios. And so a lot of creativity takes place there with other artists as well. There's other photographers there, there's painters, there are dressmakers as well. And so it's a collective of artists. That's a really good place to collaborate and just be creative. And so I am I'm well into my second year. I will have 2 years there in November, where I will do my second Day of the Dead themed event.
Now, what are you doing for this year's Day of the Dead?
This year is something unique. I'm sure people are familiar with La Loteria Mexicana. That's the Mexican bingo where you have the characters like La Dama, El Catrín again. I want to bring those characters to life. So I, again, hired some actors. Our first shoot is tomorrow morning, and these actors will play the roles of those characters. And again, it's going to be something that, I want it to look really good, not like we just slap together some costumes and we're playing around. I really want this to serve as what my interpretation of those characters are, which is, magic, myth, mystery, and really the power of women. The featured character is La Dama, and I really want her to be the focus of sort of the leader of all the other characters in the loteria that I'm going to interpret. And so that's the next event for my Day of the Dead.
Okay. Now going back
Which
a little
may not
bit,
be too related with Day of the Dead, but with the beauty of myth is that you can mix and match and just be creative with your interpretation.
Okay. Now, what is ELG?
ELG is a take on electronic news gathering. I call it electronic life gathering. And that's what you see in some of my black and white work from Nor Picture of the Day, where I would walk around downtown or wherever I was with my phone and just kind of take pictures, not taking pictures holding it up to my face, but just kind of walking with it so that people would know I was taking pictures. And so I would gather those moments of life electronically, which technology now has allowed us to do. You're not there with this obtrusive, big, giant 35 millimeter film camera. People know what you're doing. But with the phones, you can just walk around and take pictures. And a lot of the times, what I liked about it, I didn't know if I had anything usable until I got back and put those pictures into the computer.
Okay. Now, tell us about your 50 days of COVID.
Okay, that's a good example of what electronic life gathering is. When we started that lockdown of where all the restaurants were closed, I just came up with the idea, well, I'm going to take a picture every day and just essentially do a photo blog and just make commentaries on the pictures that I took. And so I just took 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 pictures every day of just something that I would see. And the one that stood out to me the most was at this park. There was a couple playing tennis, and they had torn the do not enter tape off to go play tennis. So essentially they were ignoring the warnings. And I thought, well, that's an interesting juxtaposition. They're trying to stay physically fit, but at the same time, ignoring the warnings and tearing down the caution tape is not to use the tennis courts. So it was things like that. People walking, trying to maintain a normal lifestyle in an abnormal condition. And so sometimes there were people in those shots. Sometimes there were pets like my pet, and sometimes just plants and trees, the things that we tend to ignore, but at that time we took notice of because we were not at work, we were at home. And probably at that time, that was the best place to be, outside, where you could maintain that social distancing. So there's 50 pages of that blog with photos and with my commentary, just thoughts on those 50 days.
And, it's something about the pandemic. You see the best and the worst in people when tough times come around.
You really do. And I think the best in people came out in spite of what you see on the news. I really experienced, that good nature in people that came out. That's what I saw when I was out there. And there weren't a lot of people out there, but what I did see, it was nice. And I think in the end, if it comes down to it, I think humanity has each other's back. And that's what I think COVID has taught us.
Now, before we get out of here, you have to tell me, what is Hot Topics?
Okay, Hot Topics is an exhibition that will take place at Sabine Street Studios starting August 11th. That is the opening reception. And essentially, the directors there at Sabine Street said, for our fall show, the topic or the theme is Hot Topics. And that was it. So it was open to interpretation. So I just bought for 2 weeks a whole bunch of newspapers and taped them up on the studio backdrop. And again, hired a professional model to stand in front of these hot topics and mess around with the newspapers. Essentially, my interpretation was that, with everything going on, people probably paid more attention to the Queen's Jubilee and Johnny Depp and Amber Heard than what's really going on.
And the Kardashians.
Exactly. And the Kardashians, they could tell you how many Kardashian sisters are there. And I don't know how many there are.
I can't tell you who represents them in Congress. I get it.
Exactly. And I said, who's your representative? Or, do you know what OPEC means?
Right.
Nobody knows that.
It's just, unfortunately, it's the society that we stay in, Chris, unfortunately. But, listen, we've got to run, Chris. Thank you so much. Chris Pinon, Media Studios. Chris is the owner of Chris Pinon Studios. And listen, when you do your Day of the Dead, please give us a call because we'd love to get some video of that as well, because I love the newspaper pictures. I love those. I saw those and I was like, wow, this is great. So when you do it, please reach out to us, Chris, and let us know, okay?
I sure will. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Chris and Parrish. We've got a few announcements we'll be wrapping up the show with, because after all, it is Friday and we got some things going on this weekend surrounding Juneteenth celebrations and parades. In Pearland, there's a Juneteenth celebration and unity walk that's happening at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. We'll have a link in our social media post for that. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, out there at the Southwest College, Missouri City is holding 1 Mile of Smiles, their annual Juneteenth parade, 7 p.m. tomorrow night out there in Missouri City. We'll have a link to them in the social media post after the show. STEM summer camps, we're teaming up with Verizon, Parrish.
Yes, HCC's Entrepreneurial Initiatives Division is teaming up with Verizon to launch 2 STEM summer camps to empower middle schoolers with next-gen technology. And those dates are July the 11th and July the 29th at Houston Baptist University. We'll have registration information on our post after the show.
Okay, Media Arts Student Showcase. You can check them out online. They're showcasing all of their arts on all their projects, rather, on YouTube. It is a link through August the 15th. You can watch things from the filmmaking program, audio recording technology, and music business programs. Registration's not needed. Just check them out. We'll have their link in our social media post. And the Eagle Promise program is back, Parrish.
Get your degree for free. HCC's promise is to help you earn a degree for free. The HCC Eagle Promise program offers qualifying students money to cover tuition, fees, and books each semester. Don't wait, apply. We'll have the link after our post in the show.
Important announcement, if you feel discriminated because of your gender and sexual identity, you have the right to bring your concern to the Office of Institutional Equity at HCC. The same is true if you see discrimination of others. They take all concerns very seriously. We'll have a phone number to call as well as the email and the website to make a report with our information posted after the show. So make sure you check that out. As we mentioned, Juneteenth is this weekend. There is no Up to the Minute on Monday because we're off in celebration of Juneteenth. This Monday, June the 20th, HCC is closed, meaning we won't have a show. So we'll have a best of show that'll run. And fall registration is underway. If you're looking to register here at HCC for the fall or even for one of the summer sessions, you still have time to do so.
Absolutely. You can still register for summer classes as well, which have already begun. Those smaller semesters will still remain. But fall 2022 registration is going on now. Course options are still online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid in person, or hybrid lab. For registration on all HCC programs, go to hccs.edu/apply. That is hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, keep in mind, Monday we're off, so no show on Monday. When we return on Tuesday, it'll be Tasty Tuesday. We'll have a local caterer from Venezuela who combines the love of cooking, her travels abroad, and refined and diverse palate to become a semi-finalist at Master Chef Latino. And I think she's also related to one of our employees, Parrish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll also have another student success story from the International Student Services department. They will be talking about their Real Journey campaign here at HCC. All that and more when we return on Tuesday. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. Parrish, we'll see you next week, right?
Absolutely. It's a Friday thing. You got me on Fridays now.
Parrish is on Fridays. All right.
How about that?
Parrish next week. We'll see all of you next week right here for Up to the Minute. Have a good weekend.